Maybe this is just too close to my mouth. I don't know.
No.
I just feel like I'm about to like
make out with it. Yeah, that happens.
It's close.
It happens.
Well,
Sometimes you bump it.
I did almost bump it.
No, yeah, I get makeup on it all the time.
Okay, so close is good then.
Close is great.
Okay.
Are you ready? You got this.
Yeah.
You got this. You have such good takes. We talk about them all the time.
It's the camera. It's scary.
Hi, guys. We're sitting here about to jump in to our December Patreon bonus stories, and you're probably wondering who this is.
I would be.
This is Jenna.
Hello.
Jenna has been editing for me, I think, this whole entire year.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if you started in 23 or if it was literally January, but Jenna's the one that's been helping me edit. It's been less of a one-girl circus this year with her help. And we always like talk about the stories and the edits and as we review things. And Jenna's always got some takes. She's like, ooh, but didn't you think this? Or, ooh, I thought blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Jenna, I think it's your time to shine.
Yeah, I was given a take when you said you got to be on one.
I mean, you can't offer up so many takes and then not expect to get roped into it.
So true.
So this is Jenna's warm-up to see, if she likes coming on the pod. It's a scary thing coming on.
So, yeah, it is. No, I'm fine. I don't like to talk about myself, but I'll talk about other people's issues.
You can talk about yourself too.
Well, I feel like the spotlight's on me.
Yeah.
But if the spotlight's, if the spotlight is on the story, that's okay.
Okay. I think today is going to be good. I've got quite the assortment for you. I have a theme coming up called Do You Hate Them? Which I've got a couple stories for because it's like whatever's happening in the story, it's like there's no other reason. Like this person must just hate them. And then I've got a couple random curveballs.
Love a curveball.
You'll see what I got.
I'm ready.
Okay, let's dive in.
Let's do it.
Hey, you're ready. You're ready.
It's like I've seen this show before.
Not your first rodeo. Okay, so this first one is coming from Am I the Asshole? 5 days old, titled, Am I the Asshole for sending my sister flowers anonymously and making her husband upset? I, male, 37, have always been close to my sister, female, 35. We talk regularly, and during one such conversation, she's told me that she's been feeling really depressed and overwhelmed lately. As we were talking, I could tell she was holding back tears. So I decided to do something nice for her. I contacted a local florist and put in an order for some flowers. I had them delivered to my sister's place of employment with a note reading, Thinking of you. A few hours later, the florist called me up and told me a man has been calling them nonstop and demanding they tell him who sent his wife flowers. They tried to explain that it was against their policy to reveal that information, but the man wouldn't take no for an answer. Apparently, he became so aggressive and threatening over the phone, the shop called me up and asked my permission to reveal the name of the sender to the man. The man being my brother-in-law. It turns out my sister had called her husband and thanked him for the flowers. He told her he hadn't sent any flowers and accused her of having an affair. He believed her affair partner had sent them to her, which is why he called the florist like a lunatic, demanding names. Now my sister is more depressed than ever, and she's been fighting with my brother-in-law ever since. My friends think I should have included my name on the card. Had I done that, they say, this blow-up never would have happened. I say it's my brother-in-law to blame, as he was the one who can't control his temper. So Reddit, am I the asshole?
Well, no. How can you be mad at... Like, that's just weird.
This is quite strange.
Did she have an affair? It said in there that it didn't say she had an affair. He was just assuming it was an affair.
He's assuming, which, okay, given the card, all it said on it, thinking of you. No name.
Yeah, but like...
It's a little sus.
It is, but like, just ask.
You should.
Like, hey, who sent these? If you're sus about that, that means you don't trust your partner.
I mean,
So,
calling the florist, getting aggressive, threatening. I'm starting to look at him a little suspiciously too. Like, why are you freaking out that much? Are you projecting?
well, I guess that's why I asked about affair, because I'm like, has she done something in the past to like, not to like throw it back to her, but is there a reason? I mean, obviously the behavior is like, that shouldn't be happening regardless, but is there a reason for him to think that?
Like a track record that would have him jump to that conclusion.
Yeah. But, I mean, he still kind of sounds like he's crazy and sucks.
I know. We don't have any comments clarifying that. Now that you mention it, I would actually love to know, because then if like the wife has cheated in the past,
it would make sense.
it would add up why he's freaking out and doesn't trust her saying, I'm not cheating on you.
Yeah. I feel like
Yeah.
it should almost be like, is the husband the asshole or not? Like, I don't think the brother did anything wrong.
I think it was a really nice gesture. I do find it kind of odd he didn't include his name.
Yeah, that is weird. I think yeah. Like, why does it need to be anonymous, I guess?
Well, and then the wife called the husband, like, hey, thanks for the flowers. And it
yeah.
it's like this
and
awkward.
why would she call the husband if she was having an affair partner?
That's a really good point. Because if you were having an affair and someone left their name off the card,
You would assume it was that person.
Ooh.
My hot takes, you know?
Ooh, okay.
Well, I just need more information.
I know.
I have so many questions.
And we've got nothing from our OP here, but it's only
Nothing?
5 days old, so maybe it'll come in.
Are people like asking these questions and they're just not responding to them, or like?
I'm not sure. Well, let's get into the top comment. I
Okay,
haven't read
okay,
any of the
okay,
comments.
okay,
I'm going in blind with you.
I
I had to level the playing field a little bit.
That's fair. I need to know.
So top comment on this one. Everyone sucks here. So I'm not sure how anyone thinks sending anonymous flowers to a married woman would end up well. You are 37, old enough to know better. Sister thinks husband did a nice thing for her. Turns out husband did not. Who did? Why did you not sign the card? Have you told them it was you? Husband is an all-around jerk for flying off the handle right away. Why assume wife/sister is having an affair right off the bat? I have a feeling sister is depressed because of him.
Fair.
Yeah.
Well,
12K upvotes on that.
yeah, I guess I wasn't really thinking about the fact that he didn't sign his name. I guess that is weird. Maybe it was just not a thought out. Because like the idea of sending flowers is a nice gesture.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad about that. But I guess that's also another good question too, is have you told them that it's from you, or are they still confused who the flowers are from?
I know. I'm wondering. There is another response to that. OP, why didn't you sign the card? That's just dumb. It's obvious your sister is in a borderline abusive relationship. Please tell me you've cleared this up since she's more depressed than ever. You're the asshole. So is her husband. Someone quotes that, OP, why didn't you sign the card? And they go, he was going to, but he dropped his pen in the bucket of shit he was stirring up.
Okay.
I've never
maybe
heard
he was
bucket of
stirring.
shit.
Maybe he was stirring.
Stirring the pot is a good one of mine.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
stirring the bucket of shit.
It's a lot.
I need to add
I like
that.
it.
I need to add that.
That's better than stirring the pot.
I think so. It's very aggressive.
It's
So we do have an edit/update.
yes. Okay.
Oops. I totally forgot to explain that I gave the florist permission to tell my brother-in-law it was me. So he knows, my sister knows, everyone knows at this point. Sorry for the confusion.
Okay.
Okay, and?
Right. There's more questions.
But like, he's still freaking out. The wife is
Just tell them.
depressed as ever. But it's like the brother-in-law already knows. So why is this still like? Why is he taking it out on the wife still?
Yeah, I guess it goes back to the abusive relationship that she's probably in.
Definitely not healthy. It's seemingly toxic.
It seems that way. I don't know.
This is crazy. I need an update. This isn't good enough for me.
Does she suck? I know the top comment was everybody sucks, but does she suck?
I don't think no.
She doesn't suck.
No.
Just the boys suck.
Yes. Overall vote on this one, though, everyone sucks.
Okay. Well, maybe they're just referring to the two guys that are...
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just an afterthought. Like, hey, send my sister flowers. But he also sent them to her work, not home.
He needs to get on there and respond to a couple people.
He needs to clarify. Because otherwise it is looking like you just wanted
or
to stir the pot.
Or like text her and be like, hey, those flowers, like don't sign the card, but be like, those were from me, by the way.
I have a little something coming to your work today.
Just something.
Like, so weird. I'm so curious what you guys think and if you think there's some ulterior motives to this, because the more I think about it, I'm like, and I get people can be just silly, but it does feel like he was a little bit more calculated with this.
But
to the
why?
work, no name. Maybe he wants them to split up.
He just doesn't like them together.
Maybe he wants them to split up.
Yeah, but like, there's better ways to do that.
I mean, you're really sabotaging your sister in the meantime.
That's a little rude, yeah. I mean, but it also sounds like this guy kind of sucks too, so.
I would say. Moving along.
Okay.
Moving on to the next one. Dun, dun, dun.
Bum, bum, bum.
Okay. This one's interesting. Kind of relates to me and you.
Is this a workplace?
It is.
Wow.
It is coming from Ask a Manager. It is titled, Should I Tell an Employee I Had a Dream Predicting His Death?
Okay.
I know this is a bizarre question. I just woke up from an incredibly vivid dream in which a fortune teller told me that one of my favorite/best employees was going to die on September 25th, 2024. I'm not sure I even believe in psychic dreams, but it felt so vivid and certain that if this were just a friend or someone I worked closely with, I would tell them about my dream. But when I consider telling my employee about it, I just kind of imagine the letter that they could write you from their perspective. Dear Allison, did my boss just low-key threaten my life? ? I shouldn't tell my employee, right? I do actually kind of want to warn him. P.S. I promise to update on September 26, 2024 and let you know what's up.
Well, I guess we have an update.
We might have an update.
Okay. Unless she didn't fulfill her promise.
The original post is coming from August 24th, 2018.
Oh, this was years.
This was almost 6 years ago. This was 6 years ago, over 6 years ago.
Oh, gosh.
August 24th, 2018. I think that's when my first date with Justin was.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's fucking nuts, actually. But I don't know. What do you think? Like, would you want to know if I had a crazy dream? And
don't tell me, no.
You wouldn't?
I don't need to know if I'm going to die.
But what if we could prevent it?
But is that preventable?
Sometimes. I think the butterfly effect is real. I think you can change your fate.
I feel like if you told me you had a dream that I was going to die, I don't know if I would do it. I'd be like, okay.
Okay, and? Like, what would you do with that information?
I probably wouldn't. Well, I don't know.
So, Jenna, I've actually had
don't
this dream. No, I'm just kidding. No,
that.
But I'm like, okay.
But did you say a psychic also said it? I forgot what.
So in the dream, the psychic told them.
It was in the dream with it. It's just a dream, though.
But what about that one story we had where the person did predict their friend's death? And the friend even felt
yeah,
that
I do
their
remember
death
that story, yeah.
was coming on.
Well, I feel like the difference in that story is that there were multiple sources of having the same prediction. So maybe if I also felt like, oh, 2024 is my year, I might be spooked.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you want to know?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Because
Because you think it's preventable.
Oh,
What if it wasn't?
Well, then I'm just fucked and I'm going to feel anxious until that date passes, which
See, that's the thing. I'm like, I
That
feel
would
like
be
I would
brutal.
I would feel anxious the whole time.
yeah, that would be pretty brutal, especially like 6 years to have that looming over your head for
a lot of
6 years.
It's a lot of years.
That's true. Maybe I'd tell them a little closer, but then it's eating at me for 6 years.
But I guess it's also like a weird thing because it's like employee.
That's the relationship. It's like there's that level of professionalism they need to have. And can you cross that line if it's to maybe impact someone's safety?
I guess there's also like what I want to know, probably not, but what I want to tell the person, that might be a different thing. If I truly believed that what I was dreaming was, it's hard for me because it's a dream, but if I knew this was with solid evidence and I knew that this person was going to die on this day and I knew for a fact, then I would probably want to tell them though.
Well, this is being written into Allison, who is Ask a Manager. She is HR queen. She gets how to handle everything. So Allison responded, "Do not tell your employee."
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure you should tell anyone if you have this kind of dream about them, but definitely not in a business relationship. There are really only 3 outcomes here. 1, he thinks it's bizarre that you decided to relay this to him and now doubts your judgment more broadly. That is highly likely. 2, he's unsettled but can't do anything about it since if it is a real prophecy, he can't avoid it, right? At least that was the lesson I learned from Sleeping Beauty and the spinning wheel. And 3, he thinks it's silly, but is mildly bothered by having it in his head anyways and is annoyed that you felt you needed to share this with him. None of those outcomes are good. There's nothing actionable here for anyone. Shake off the dream and move on.
I agree. I think that's how I feel. Because it's a dream.
I guess that's the thing with this one. It's like you just had a prediction he's going to die on this date, but there was no how. There is no like, oh, a dog is going to bite you, so maybe avoid dogs. Or
oh yeah, we don't have any details
we have
at all.
no details at all. So,
well, I'm also like, she's not a psychic. She had a psychic in her dream. So maybe if she was like a psychic or something like that, there'd be more weight to it. But to me, I guess I'm just like, I don't know, girl. It's just a dream.
Keep it to yourself. Don't look into it too much.
Yeah, just don't think about it too hard.
Update.
Uh-oh.
Coming from December 2nd, 2024.
If something happened to the coworker, I don't know.
It's literally 8 days old.
Okay.
Update. A promise is a promise. I'd only been working at that job a few months when I wrote in. As far as I know, my former employee is very much alive and even asked me for a reference a few months ago. He was mostly a good employee, but had been promoted too fast and fell into the classic trap of thinking there's a level of seniority or management that exists where you no longer have to work to build consensus with stakeholders and can just do whatever you like. He eventually left for another job, which he then left to run his own company, which went under after 3 months. He's at another company and unhappy enough to be looking for his next big thing. I left the job where I managed him in early 2021, so if I'm the most recent reference he thinks might have something positive to say, well, he might not have died in 2024, but the jury is still out on his career. Damn.
Well, I was going to say.
Damn. P.S. Thanks to you for telling me not to say anything, and to the commenters for asking what the hell was wrong with me. Later that year, I was diagnosed as autistic. Not something I consider to be wrong with me, per se, but definitely explains why I didn't see an issue with wanting to tell him. I feel attacked, but okay.
You just wanted to know.
I already know I'm a little on the spectrum. I've been tested.
Oh, fun.
And it was something. And to this day, I would prefer someone tell me if they had the same dream. I'm in a new job with a boss who loves my direct and strategically minded demeanor, and I have gotten better at knowing when not to say something. Although I now have good friends, both at work and outside of work, who will tell me when I can't say something.
That's good. That's nice.
That one fucking comment though. Oh, well, he might not have died in 2024, but the jury's still out on his career.
I mean, that's funny. I like it.
Whoa.
Well,
Whoa.
He made maybe a couple silly career choices, but who are we to judge him?
You gotta shoot your shot out there though.
Yeah,
like
why
otherwise
not?
you'll always wonder.
So true.
Like if I never would have started the pod,
I wouldn't know.
always be wondering.
That'd be crazy.
Because I have ideas that I wanted to do. I tried convincing friends, like, because I had 6 like really close girlfriends at one time. And I was like, let's do a group Instagram account. And this is when like travel bloggers and Instagram, like picture fashion girls were like at the height. And I was like, you guys, let's all do this. We all travel. We all shop. Let's all do this. No one would do it with me.
They weren't into it the way you wanted to be.
No. And then so 2 years later, I had the idea for the podcast. And like, luckily, after a year of talking about it, I did it. But imagine.
That'd be insane.
That's why, like, I always tell people, do it. If you're thinking about doing something, try it. Like, don't quit your job. If you can do it while you do your job, do that. Like, don't just quit and take this huge, crazy leap because that can be scary. But like, if you can do both of them, like, do it.
So many people have ideas and they just don't do it.
So many.
So
you never know where it'll take you.
It's scary to start. I get it.
Terrifying.
It's terrifying.
Terrifying.
I also find that I have like things have to be perfect before I do the thing that I'm thinking of doing, which is an issue because if you just start it and it's not the perfect thing yet, it can turn in like you can build it up.
You can always pivot.
You can always pivot. You just gotta start. You just gotta start it.
Pivot.
Well, I'm glad she figured out not to say that.
I know. Comment. Oh, no, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, although I said I might say it but I said if I knew hard evidence.
I would say
You would tell me? Okay, good to know.
I would tell you. Well, now that I know you don't want me to tell you,
maybe not.
I'll respect your boundary unless I have concrete details.
I only want to know.
Like if I had a dream that the little dog that you live with was going to maul your face and kill you.
Oh yeah, please let me know.
That I would tell you for sure. Because I know that could actually happen. That feels concrete.
No, he's sweet.
Jury's out on that one too.
He just, never mind.
Does anyone want a dog?
No, not anymore. He's
off the market.
Yeah, he's off the market.
He was being fostered, okay. But
he's in a loving home.
There we go.
He's in a loving, happy home.
Moving along.
Oh, I thought were you about to read a top comment?
Oh, well, we'll think about that. The top comment on this one. A 6-year update is the kind of update I live for. None of these a couple of day later updates. Let's make a new sub where you update once a year. I'd be obsessed with that, to be honest.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, because this is coming from Boru. Best of Redditor updates. Boru.
It's good. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some stories you do kind of need the daily updates, but then you also need a yearly update.
Yeah.
Don't forget the yearly update.
People need to come back and update more. There are so many stories that we've read, and I got the master spreadsheet going thanks to you guys. But it's like, I'm so confused why people don't come back when they know that others are out there.
Maybe they like leaving people hanging.
I think some do get off on it.
Probably.
100%. Also, just want to give Dana a shout out for starting the spreadsheet and everyone else who helped compile all the stories and links in there. It has helped me more than you know. I accidentally repeated a story the other day and it's just sitting there and I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. I blacked out reading this, that I read it twice. And then as I was editing the episode with Bailey, I realized, shit, I read that on the Michaela episode.
I guess I also blacked out because I did not. I did not recognize it.
I know. So I had to cut it. And so it's just sitting there. So if you want me to pull it from the vault and post it and you're okay hearing it again, let me know and I will give it to you.
You get a different reaction.
The spreadsheet has been amazing. And now I use it constantly. Constantly.
How many stories have you read on this? Does it say on the spreadsheet?
Mm-hmm. Yes?
I'd like to know the number.
Okay. So the very bottom of the spreadsheet, oh gosh.
It's got to be like
Scroll too far.
1,000, right? Is that crazy? I feel like it's a lot.
Isn't that nuts? So the number I see at the bottom of this spreadsheet I think this is the master doc. So I think this is just actual episodes because there's another tab for Patreon.
Oh, okay.
1,153.
That's crazy.
And then Patreon has 359, but it hasn't been updated since November. So
there's more.
There could be more. Like it blows me away.
No wonder you can't remember them.
I remember most of them though. When like I meet you guys at the live shows and you're like, my favorite story is this one. I go, oh my God. It's like a That's So Raven wormhole.
You just need the details. You just got to be like reminded of the
Yeah.
story. And it's like, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Comes
That's
back. But let's add another one to the list.
Okay.
Here's number 3 coming at ya.
Okay.
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 I'm kind of nervous on this next one.
Why?
I haven't read it yet.
Is it a scary title?
I really wanted to go blind on everything with you today. I was like, here we go. The title does it trigger. I'm like, what is this going to be?
Why am I so cold?
It's chilly in here.
I'm shivering.
It's chilly.
Okay.
So this one is coming from AITAH titled, Am I the Asshole for Being Disgusted and Just Saying okay when my fiance broke up with me? I'm scared.
It's the worst
Weird.
response.
I'm scared. So I don't know, man. I, 28, had been with my fiance, Alex, 34, since 2020. We met at a friend's party, hit it off, and had been together ever since. He finished his doctorate in economics just last year. Since then, he has been working at a university. I have my master's in media sciences and decided to start working instead of going for the PhD. Okay, ... So the problem is that Alex broke up with me last Monday. It was literally so surreal and honestly, just weird. For the past few months, he had been acting strange. He was making demands and then dropping them immediately. A few examples. He told me we were going to paint our walls back from dark green to white. When I asked why, he just said, quote, for fuck's sake, forget it, and never brought it up again, even when I asked. Another time he came home and got mad because I was sitting on the couch with my head covered in a blanket. I had cramps. He was upset because I was, quote, just sitting there watching Netflix. Mind you, the house was spotless. When I tried to talk about it, he just said, quote, forget it, it's not a big deal. This kind of thing became common. Every time I tried to communicate, just tried to figure out what was going on, whether it was something I did or maybe he was just stressed at work, he would just say everything was fine, but he was clearly seething with rage. I didn't even have to do anything. He would find something to complain about. The apartment, clothes, me, work, etc. So I gave him space, which apparently was also wrong. I told him I was going to help my parents with the repairs for a few days, and somehow that was also wrong because he wanted to renovate the apartment too. Then on Monday, I got a text saying we needed to talk. I knew what was coming, and after the last few months, I'd made peace with it. When I came home, he was sitting on the couch. He didn't even wait for me to take off my jacket before saying, quote, I want to break up. Then the verbal diarrhea started. He then told me he resented me. First,
it did sound like it.
Who could have guessed? First, because I didn't pursue my academic career further, even though I was capable, and he didn't want to upset me at the time. Then, when I started making more money, since he didn't make much as a PhD student, he felt like I should have the last word financially, and then he hated it. Mind you, I never said anything like, quote, it's my money, so I have the final say. That's a rule he imposed on himself, and he hated it. He said he hated our paint scheme, the couch, and even our fucking crock pot.
Well, what did the crock pot do then?
What the fuck, dude? Then he told me he had rejected a better PhD program to stay here because I had already started my job by the time he got the acceptance letters. Only he never told me he had even applied overseas. He said a few months ago he checked in with a friend who's in that program, saw how they were thriving, and decided I ruined his life. He said I had too much control over his life and that he hated the idea that I could just decide not to pay for things and fuck him over. I honestly don't even know what that means. He also said he hated that all of his friends loved me and didn't let him vent about me. He then said again, I'm done. I was floored. I'd already made peace with the idea that we were ending and it hurt, but after that rant, I was just disgusted. I looked at him, probably with a disgusted expression, and said, okay. He lost it. He said this is exactly what he meant, that it was horrible. We had been together for 4 years, and all I had to say was, okay, to our breakup. I just asked if he wanted to stay here while he figured out where to go. He said, quote, typical, of course you're holding the apartment over me, and started ranting again. So I just left. I told my parents, and they're also confused. My dad suggested I reached out to our landlord and explained the situation to see what options I have. I can keep paying the rent, no problem myself. He covered the utilities and some subscriptions. Just to reiterate, I never had a problem with this. I saw that he was chasing his dream, and that was more than important to me than a 50-50 financial split. I make good money, and I'm happy with my job. I never saw it as slaving away. I always had the mentality that my money was our money because we were building a life together. Of course, I had my own savings and fun money, but I honestly never cared. As long as I felt he was working towards something and wasn't taking advantage of me, I was fine with it. More than fine. Alex is still mad. He's going between texting me like a robot about the logistics of the split to being a seething asshole complaining about everything. I'm not even hurt anymore. I just feel nauseated by him at this point. I don't know. Should I have acted differently? Am I the asshole?
No. And she sounds so nice. And okay is the greatest response to that yes. I am confused. I'm a little confused. I'm trying to think of why he would want to act that way, other than he just wanted out of the relationship for some reason. But it all seems weird.
I'm beyond perplexed.
It's confusing.
And I think there's clearly a disconnect in his brain because I don't know how you can, let's take just one example of his PhD program, right? He applied to a couple programs, one of which was overseas. He didn't even tell.
Yeah, that's so weird.
His partner. Like,
why would she know about this then?
Why are you holding it against her if you didn't even tell her you applied and got accepted? Because she sounds so supportive that I think if you would have said, hey, I got this amazing opportunity in a program overseas. I know you just got your job here and you love it and you're making great money, but what do you think about this opportunity? If that was my situation, I would be like, well, you have to take it. I'll figure it out. I'll either stay at my job and we'll do long distance for a little bit. Like a PhD program is maybe a year, 2 years, like depends on the program. We can do this. We can do this. But he didn't even give her the opportunity to respond and is then resentful at her for stealing this away. She didn't even know.
It's almost like he just wanted he wanted to add another reason to why she ruined his life.
It's just
weird.
It's giving deeply insecure.
Well, and it also clearly, the way she talks about it, they both look at money and finances in a completely different way. For some reason, he has this idea that it almost like feels like he's decisionless because he doesn't make the money.
Yeah.
Which she clearly has, it was, at least in this post, is saying that's not true and I view our money as our money. So I don't know why he has such a weird attachment to the money like that.
I'm blown away. I mean, He's clearly just deeply unhappy and is taking it out on the very last person he should, the wrong person. I mean, to walk in and be like, let's repaint our room. Let's go back to white versus green. And then when the person's like, okay, well, like, why? Like, you don't like the color or whatever, to go, for fuck's sake, forget it.
Yeah, that's a little wild.
I was just asking.
Yeah, just why you want it white?
We can't have a conversation. And then at the end, he hates the crock pot. Everything from the crock pot. This person is so deeply unhappy, insecure, and resentful of the decisions they made, but also can't hold themselves accountable for it, that they're going to lash out at the only person that really, genuinely, probably deeply cares about them and is supporting them right now.
That's a good point. Maybe
that's some self-sabotage motherfuckery.
He's just blaming her for all his bad mistakes. Maybe he didn't even want to go to the thing that he applied to, and he just said no, and it's like, it's her fault.
Well, and it's like, it's so weird how he's like, I want you to pursue your academic like abilities and go to the PhD program. A master's is just fine. Having like,
right.
I had two choices.
I don't have that.
I had two choices, and I literally I applied for both the master's and the doctorate for my degree.
Mm-hmm.
I was very, I would say very gaslit that I needed the doctorate because my standards for my licensure was going to change. AOTA, the board, the governing body over occupational therapists, was going to start requiring doctorates in 2027. So I was like, cool, I'll get the doctorate. I'll be ahead of the curve. No problem. Didn't matter. I could have gone for the master's. I could have had a shorter program. I could have saved money.
I was like, that's how they get you.
That's how they get you.
That's how they get you.
And what is having a doctorate? What does doctor give me? A little further education. But I'm not an MD. I'm not a DO. I don't ever refer to myself as Dr. Absher.
That'd be kind of cool, though.
I'd be a pretentious asshole if I did that. There's certain people that I think can get the doctor. I'm like, I don't know. It's crazy because you look at a paleontologist.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Ross from Friends. That man fought.
Is he a paleontologist?
He fought for his fucking life, trying to be the doctor of dinosaurs.
I think it's been a long time since I've seen Friends because
he never got the respect.
Oh, that's
but
sad.
That's the thing. Is Ross really a doctor?
Well, it didn't resonate with me. That's not what I think about.
I know.
So
you just think dinosaur boy Ross.
Yeah.
You don't need that. And especially if you're making good money, don't get caught up in the system. And it's a weird thing to resent your partner for when she's floating the boat you're floating in.
Right. Yeah, it's really weird. It is just, it is giving that he just hates you.
Here's a perspective that I will add.
Okay, I'm ready.
So there's certain things in my life that I will pay for and not I take care of for me and Justin.
Mm-hmm.
Say I wanted to stay at a nicer hotel. I would take the difference on that versus making Justin pay for that. But sometimes he feels bad about it. And I have to reframe it to him where it's if you were the one doing it, I wouldn't feel bad. I wouldn't feel bad at all.
Yeah.
I go, are you feeling bad because it's not traditional societal norms?
Maybe.
This is the woman making money. And I know OP never said gender at the beginning, but then said cramps. I'm assuming female. Could be they, them.
I assumed.
But I'm okay, is that why he's so aggravated by this? Because it's the societal norms?
Because he did say that. She's just laying there and doing, is she not working enough to make the amount of money that does she not deserve what she's making? Is that what he was trying to say?
Everyone deserves a Netflix binge every now and again.
Yeah.
The fuck?
That's have you seen the trend that's going around?
Maybe.
I feel like you probably have.
Maybe not.
It's normally the wife or the girlfriend going to their husband being I can't pay rent this month.
Oh, no.
You haven't seen this?
No.
Well, a majority of the time it's the man just being you don't pay rent. And then there are the 50-50 reactions.
Yeah.
People don't like those as much. Because it's, the man starts to panic and it's less of chivalry and it's interesting. I'm surprised you haven't seen that trend.
No.
It's everywhere.
My TikTok's really weird right now. You know that Madonna Like a Prayer song that's from Deadpool and people are sharing it with the Muppets memes?
Okay, we're on different
That is my entire For You page.
That's
you
kind of
haven't
crazy.
You haven't seen the olive oil story?
No, and I haven't seen the Muppets.
You haven't seen the bike down a gravel hill story?
No. What is this? Where are you?
Please tell me someone is there with me. Someone's got to be there with me.
What's the bike down the gravel story?
Oh my God, this is fucking crazy. So I'll show you one of the videos after, but essentially this trend is like you're describing this crazy situation you were in with like Muppets memes.
Why is it Muppets?
I don't know. It's hilarious. Hilarious. I'll put the meme in here. Nobody tell on me. I have to like stop sharing pictures for copyright purposes. My lawyer was like, don't keep putting pictures in YouTube. You're going to get in trouble.
Uh-oh.
So
that's so silly.
We're going to have to work on how we navigate that. But literally this girl is writing in. She's like, POV, like this was my face when I rode a bike down a gravel hill with my brother. And my brother like went down the gravel hill and nothing happened. And then I went down it. And the next thing I know, I'm in the ditch and my wrist hurts. And then I went to stand up and I pushed myself up from my wrist and my arm broke in half. And I was trying to call for help, but I'm in the middle of the road. And as I'm sitting in the middle of the road, a truck comes over the top of the hill and almost kills me. And then he honks at me, a little girl sitting in the center of the road with blood all over. I had blood all over me. I couldn't even see. I had so much blood on me. I had blood everywhere. And I'm screaming for help. And finally, my brother comes back and he doesn't even stop to help me get out of the road. He just bikes home to get help. And then all of a sudden, I see the neighbor's pit bull looking at me. The pit bull that hates children. And the pit bull starts coming at me and starts attacking my arm. That's a limp noodle because it's broken in half.
Is this a real story?
Literally a real story.
No way.
She included pictures.
I was about to say I need proof, but okay, thank you.
Included pictures of the x-ray broken arm in half too. Insane. So that's my whole For You page.
Well, this makes sense because you read crazy stories like this all day. But
dude, I liked one video and now I'm getting the ones that have like 2 likes. It's not
2 likes, like, oh, they're like fresh.
Yeah. TikTok is putting it on me to decide if this one is good.
Yeah, it's up to you to push it through the algorithm.
I'm like a culture cultivator.
Yeah. That sounds nice.
Yeah.
I think the truck honking at me while I'm in the ditch would have been my last straw.
That would have been my
like, well, can't you see I'm in a ditch with blood all like I'm not trying to be here.
The person didn't even pull over to help. They just kept driving.
Yeah, that's rude. And so is the brother. Your brother's rude.
Crazy. What also is crazy? This guy.
This story.
Top comment on this one. You're the asshole.
The girl?
I'm just kidding.
Oh. Well, you see, we had taken a second to pause. So as I said, the story goes in and out.
God.
I had to rethink about what it was.
Oh, okay, well, top comment. Dude basically hates himself for decisions he took without ever consulting you. He chose his comforts, but now, since others seem in a better position, he is venting on you and making you the culprit. Not the asshole, but your man has a little brain and doesn't know what to do with it. A little brain.
A little brain. Don't they all? I'm just kidding.
Stand strong in your truth. OP does respond. I would have supported him if he wanted to move away. I don't know if we would have stayed together because long distance relationships are hard, but I would have 100% been supportive. I fucking knew it.
She seems so nice.
This is the most self-aware, seemingly logical. I'm like, is this being written too biased? I'm like, damn, like this is giving like really good person.
Well, I think he's just like, nothing that he's doing makes sense though. All you have to do is communicate, and he's just choosing to like spiral. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know where his common sense is. Because none of it just doesn't make sense.
No, and it's also never too late to pivot.
No, you can do whatever you want.
If you fucking hate your life, go apply to that other program again and go.
Right. It's not her. If she leaves, you're still going to hate your life.
What is the difference? Here you go. Now you're without this person.
Your life's actually probably going to get harder. In fact, your life is about to get way harder. You don't have any money.
Where is the logic in this?
There isn't any. I think he's unwell. I think he needs to go to therapy for himself. This girl already sounds like she's gone to therapy and she understands life and is good.
Yeah.
So also she should just have somebody better. Maybe somebody who just is
on her level.
Yeah, he's
mentally,
not there.
Emotionally.
Maybe it sounds like he doesn't talk to her at all. Maybe there's something else going on that she doesn't even know about.
I at first thought he was cheating.
What?
I
could see that.
Was like, at first in my head, I was like, he's got to be cheating and he's just trying to create reasons to get them to break up.
I don't know if cheating came through my mind, but it was definitely like clearly he wants out. Like he's just kind of making up stuff in order to get out of this. Just if you don't want to be in the relationship, just don't be there.
Go.
And like, what do you want her to say? Like all these reasons you're giving are like your own issues. Like what is she supposed to say? And you've also been treating her terribly for the past 4 months.
Terribly.
So like, I would say okay too.
At that point, what do you want me to argue with? You've kind of hammered it all out right in front of me, dude. You
laid it out.
You said you hate the fucking crock pot. What do I do from there?
Didn't he basically just say he hated her? Like, okay.
Okay, thanks. Bye. And then it's like, well, okay, well, you can stay in the apartment. We'll figure this out. And it's like, there you go again.
Yeah, it's
Fuck
just like,
you.
What do you want her to say?
Well, guess what?
What?
We have an update.
Okay, bless. Maybe some clarification. That'd be nice.
We got an update.
From him. I'd like an update from him. I'd like to know from his brain.
We need him to find this, and we need the other side. And then we need one of the friends to chime in.
Although I don't think there is like, I just want to know what's going through his brain because it doesn't sound like there's any like
validity.
Yeah.
No. I think his side would be, unless there's a shit ton of missing details.
There'd have to be a lot. She would have to be pretty crazy for him to be doing these things.
Well, let's find out what the update says.
Okay.
So before the update, OP did have a little edit. Thank you all for your opinions. It was nice to get this off my chest, LOL. Just to clarify though, I don't feel like a victim. I feel like something happened and my relationship just turned bad. He behaved like an asshole, but that is the extent of it. Very clearly, something is going on, but he doesn't want me to be a part of whatever it is, and I have to respect that. Now I just have to detangle myself legally from him, and after that, I'll just be left alone with my ugly green wall color. I think I might also adopt a cat, as my ex was really allergic.
A cat will help a lot.
Cat's cure.
I love a cat.
Cat's cure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a cat soon.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I have mice in my barn, so it's gonna be a
barn cat.
It's gonna be a barn cat, but okay, don't. I know there's people that are gonna yell at me,
but he can come inside.
Yeah,
okay.
Like, the barn is fully like furnished.
No, the cats love that.
Yeah, and he's gonna have like a little cat like jungle gym all around the perimeter of the inside of the garage, and
cute.
The program. So like where I live, they have a barn cat program. So they do a lot of like trap and neuter, spay, release.
Mm-hmm.
But there's certain cats that like for whatever reason can't be re-released. And rather than they also can't adopt them out because they're so feral.
Oh.
So instead of putting the cats down, there's a barn cat program. And so it's like the best solution for everyone. Like cats aren't getting killed.
Well, then maybe
I get a little pet that eats mice.
But he's like aggressive and feral.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he shouldn't go inside.
Well, he'd live in
the barn.
Yeah, like the garage is like it's like a furnished. It's sheetrocked and has heat and everything.
Okay, great.
So it'll be really nice. It's not like I'm just putting him in the streets.
No, I think I was just picturing him coming into your house.
I'm hoping he becomes unferal.
You could.
But the program,
it might take time though.
I think it'll take time. But that happened to like a bunch of the neighbors' cats. And now they go in their house every night. Like Junior.
Oh.
Junior was a barn cat.
Junior.
Yeah. And he's just like a treat-loving little muffin man. Like he's so cute.
That's crazy actually. He's so sweet.
And the program is so successful, they don't even have any cats available right now.
Oh, so you're just waiting.
I'm just waiting.
So you're
waiting for my turn.
You're just like,
To get a barn cat.
whenever you get one.
Yeah.
You don't have like a preference of what color you want? Or
No.
Just whatever
a
barn.
happy cat.
Just whichever one's there.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
I'd rather take it than have it get put down because it's so feral.
I know, that's so sad.
That happens everywhere. I dissected an anatomy cat that probably got put down for that reason.
Oh, God. I think I'd cry if I had to dissect the cat.
It was traumatic.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Okay. On to the update.
I thought that was the update. Okay, great.
We got more.
Oh, okay, good.
To start, Alex moved out pretty quickly after the breakup. He has been staying with a friend, and we sorted out everything like mail, subscriptions, and the lease. I'm also in the process of adopting a cat. Her name is Luna, and I've been thinking about changing it since my family already has 2 pets named Luna, a Moon and a Kamar. She is still at her foster home for now, but I have visited her a few times, and I already adore her. She is a scrappy little tabby who follows her foster mom around like a shadow, and I can't wait for her to move in during the first week of December. I've already gotten her bowls, toys, and a bed by the window ready.
Oh, that's sweet.
Now, on to what happened. Last week, I was out showing someone around the city. He is the son of my parents' friend who recently moved here for work. My parents asked me to help him get familiar with the area, so I agreed. It was nothing special, just walking around, grabbing coffee, and pointing out useful spots in the city. Apparently, Alex saw us. I didn't even realize he was there, but later that night, I started getting texts from an unknown number. I guess he got a new number since I blocked his old one. The texts were just weird. He accused me of flaunting my new relationship in public, said I must have been seeing this guy before we broke up, and told me that everything he suspected about me was true. I didn't respond. I wasn't going to entertain his paranoia. The messages kept coming though. They went from angry to desperate, with him saying things like, quote, "At least admit you were lying to me," and, quote, "Was anything about us even real?" It was exhausting and honestly a little scary to see how quickly he spiraled. For the record, this guy isn't my boyfriend. He's not even someone I'm interested in. He's just the son of family friends who needed help settling into the new city. The whole thing was completely innocent, but Alex has twisted it to seem like some kind of betrayal in his head. What gets me is how little Alex seems to know me. I'm not the type of person to jump into a relationship so soon after everything that happened. Even if I were, it wouldn't be any of his business. We are done. I made that clear.
He also broke up with, he made that decision. Anyway.
What? After I didn't respond to his text, Alex started calling. I didn't pick up, but the voicemails were a mix of angry rants and desperate pleas. I ended up blocking his new number too. It feels ridiculous that I have to keep doing this, but I guess this is where we are now. Then this weekend, I was out to a bar with my friends. A few hours in, guess who walked in? Alex. I didn't know if it was a coincidence or if he followed me there, but as soon as he spotted me, he came straight over. He was clearly upset, asking to talk, and I told him no. My friend stepped in, and thankfully, he left without causing a scene. But it ruined my night. I felt like I couldn't escape him, no matter where I went or what I did. When I got home later, I was completely drained. I just started to relax when I heard a knock on my door. It was Alex, standing there in tears.
Does he have her location?
I think he's stalking her.
Yeah.
He started crying, saying he missed me, that he didn't understand why I was, quote, doing this to him, and that he didn't know how to move on. It was like all of the anger from earlier had been replaced with this desperate sadness. I didn't let him in. I told him he needed to leave, and if he didn't, I would call someone to make him leave. He begged me to listen, but I just closed the door. I spent the rest of the night feeling shaken and honestly a little scared. I don't know what he's going through. I wrote his best friend about the situation with the plea of talking to him. He said he would. I'm seriously considering getting a new phone number and possibly even talking to someone about how to handle this legally if it keeps happening. It feels unfair that I have to go to these lengths just to have some peace, but I don't see another option.
Yeah, that's scary.
This took quite the turn.
Well, at first I was going to be like, oh, he's just trying to turn the narrative and be like, look, you cheated on me. that's why we ended things. It wasn't because of all my outbursts and blah, blah, blah. But now I'm just like, I don't know what he needs.
I think he's honestly having some sort of breakdown. I mean, he's 34, very transitional period in life.
But old enough to not do this kind of stuff.
Old enough to not do this kind of stuff. But like, I mean, people, like when I worked at the mental health facility I was at, I had a man and he was 54, had been a very successful real estate tycoon here in LA.
Oh.
And all of a sudden he had just overnight like kind of lost everything.
He just snapped.
Lost his business.
Oh, wow.
Went into severe depression because of that, lost his family. And that just caused him to downward spiral.
Yeah.
To the point where he became homeless and just was going through it. And so I'm like, maybe this is just, it's too much pressure. The program is too strenuous, whatever it is. And he is just cracking.
Well, yeah, that's probably true. And also, like, I'm sure financially he's in a completely different spot. He also, I'm sure she was a huge support for him. And now a giant piece of his support is just gone.
Gone.
I think as much as he regretted all his decisions when he was being rude to her, I think he's really regretting his decision to break up with her.
I think so. I think he's realizing the grass wasn't greener on the other side.
No.
Oh, oops. I guess I only have to blame myself.
Yeah, what do you do now that you have to blame yourself?
Yeah. And like, I'm thinking about my exes, like, even though a lot of them like ended things with me after like cheating even, or like just being a shit partner, they all came crawling back. Like,
yeah,
people do eventually realize, and maybe he's just realizing this quickly, but to like harass her, to get a new phone number, and then to show up at a bar, like stalking her, like,
yeah, he's going to a huge extreme.
I think at that point, like, you have to realize you fucked up and actions have consequences and you got to live with it.
Yeah.
As shitty as that is, that's just life.
But like, she wasn't the one that broke up with him. He did this to himself.
I know.
Which I'm like, I can have sympathy for, but also like, you have to learn your lesson at some point.
I know.
And then like, she's just like, she just doesn't want to be bothered.
Just trying to
live her
get
life
through everything. Yeah.
Like, you weren't good to her either. Like, she had to put up with a lot of stuff, so.
I know. It's crazy.
Crazy.
There is one last update.
Okay.
This update was posted 3 days later. So we have, just for the timeline clarity, our initial post, October 23rd, 2024. Post update 1, coming a month later, November 25th. And then this most recent one is November 28th.
Okay.
So just 12 days ago. Under 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Under 2 weeks. So here we go. Thanks for the concern and support I've received. I'm fine, really. A lot of people have suggested things like getting a restraining order, but I just want to clarify that it's not as simple as walking into an office and asking for one. The process involves proving there's an immediate danger to your safety, providing evidence like text calls or witnesses, and then attending court to get approval. It's not something you can do lightly or without solid proof. And no, I'm obviously not getting a gun. People did ask in the original post where OP lives. OP lives in Germany.
Okay.
People really jump to guns quickly.
Didn't even go through my mind.
I've also been seeing people diagnosing Alex with various mental health issues, and I want to ask everyone to stop. Yes, something is clearly wrong, but I'm not a doctor, and neither are most of you. It's not fair or helpful to label him with something like bipolar or anything else without real expertise. For what it's worth, I don't actually feel like I'm in danger. In the past month, there were only 3 incidents that have happened. I don't think he's actively stalking me so much as he just knew my patterns. The bar we were at is my favorite spot, and it was a party of one of my closest friends, so it makes sense he might have guessed I would be there. When he showed up at my apartment, he knows what time I usually get home. The city tour is the only thing that might have been more intentional, but it could have also been a coincidence that triggered everything. Anyways, this is the end of it. Yesterday, Alex came over with his mom and one of his friends. At first, I didn't want to let him in, but he promised me that this would be the last time I ever saw him. I agreed, mostly because his mom and friend were there, and I figured it would be more awkward to argue on my doorstep. When we sat down, Alex admitted that he was going through a crisis. He told me he was mad at me, but he didn't know why. He said he doesn't like me, that I annoy him, and that he weirdly still loves me, which is why he went crazy when he saw me with someone else. He assured me there wasn't anyone else on his end either. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still unpacking that. He said he felt like he was going insane. He talked about how he feels judged for being older and not being able to give me the life he thinks I deserve. He said he hates his colleagues, hates his job, hates everything right now, and that everyone and everything annoys him. He told me he feels old and like he should want kids at this point in his life, but he doesn't, and that thought terrifies him. He said he just wants to be alone and to not talk to anyone for a while. I didn't say much. I mostly just nodded because I didn't know what to say. After he was done, he told me he was leaving. He's on some kind of mental health leave from work, and he said he's leaving the country on Sunday. He's going to South America to spend time in nature and find himself. He thanked me for everything and said he was very sorry for how he acted. Then he just got up, grabbed the few things he had left at my place, and walked out. His mom was inconsolable. She kept apologizing to me over and over, saying how embarrassed she was by his behavior. I told her it was okay and that she didn't need to apologize for him. She cried a lot, and his friend ended up driving her home after Alex left. I don't really know how I feel about all of this. A part of me is relieved that it's over. Part of me feels sad for him because he clearly doesn't know how to deal with everything he's feeling. Mostly, though, I just feel tired. I'm glad he's taking the steps to figure himself out, but it's not my responsibility anymore.
It's probably a good thing. That seems like a lot to put on someone also.
Mm-hmm. At the same time, like I get it. And like there's a comment from someone that someone goes, he's a little young for a midlife crisis, but certainly the man is having issues with his life choices and it's tearing him apart. Your empathy is warranted, but in the end, these troubles are his, not yours. Hopefully this is the last you'll hear of him. Good luck to you.
Yeah.
And OP goes, it's just a life crisis then, I guess. Who knows?
Right.
But like I look at, again, my shoes, because like we kind of relate to these stories through our own lens. And when COVID hit, I was supposed to be graduating from grad school.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get my hooding ceremony. I didn't walk. So the past 3 years of my life felt like they were for nothing.
Right.
Then I was finally able to take my boards because the the testing centers opened because they were closed because of COVID. I passed. But then even when I passed, I couldn't get a job.
Yeah, there was probably like nothing out there.
No one was hiring. So I went from graduating April 2020 to not being able to get a job until March 2021. I was super depressed. I was mad at the world. I felt robbed, cheated. I was on food I was literally like, I felt like I was drowning.
Yeah.
So that mad at the world feeling, I get it. I get it.
I get it too. But I guess the issue is that he's just like putting all of his feelings onto her. But I get it. I get hating people, like hating everything in your surroundings. And
I know.
But you don't really hate them. You just hate where you're
the
at.
Circumstances.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think, I don't think I took it out on my loved ones. Like obviously like they noticed my depression and like they supported me. And was I sad? Did I cry a lot? Yeah. But like I didn't tell them I hate them. I hate everything about them. I hate the wall. Fuck's sake. I hate the crock pot.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a line.
But all that said, like I didn't do that. This is how he's handling it.
Right.
And I get it. But it's unfair for your partner.
Right.
And so here we are.
I also think it's strange to come back into her house and be like, I like think you're annoying and like don't like you at all, but I still love you. I don't know. It was just weird.
That's why I sat there after that and I was like, I still am unpacking this.
Right.
Like you're not even doubling down. You're like triple down.
Yeah, this is like maybe the third time he said something similar.
Like, I get it. You hate me. You think I'm annoying.
Yeah.
You think I suck.
But when I'm with someone else, you love me? Question mark. What?
And I think this is what's so hard. Obviously, this is generalization, but I feel like a lot of times because of toxic masculinity, men create problems in their lives where they do not need to. If they embraced being vulnerable, embraced crying, embraced being sad or whatever else they feel that they can't be, they need to be a strong man supporting and providing.
Yeah.
If they just embraced being vulnerable and then communicating that vulnerability, none of these issues would have come up for him.
Yeah, because he's probably just suppressing everything and taking it out in the only way he knows how to, which was just being mean to her.
Mm-hmm. Like, if you unpack everything he did and like everything he said, why? I hate my job. I hate my colleagues. I hate that I can't provide for you at my old age of 34.
Well, we're back to the finances again. Like, he really is taking that hard.
And I think that comes from those societal norms of men must provide and men must be the main breadwinner. And it's like, why?
Yeah, like, I think we're past that.
Let's be past that.
We should be past that.
So
I get it. I guess I have a little bit of empathy for him, but at the same time, he just needs to go figure it out.
yeah, which
it sounds like he's doing.
Sounds like he's doing. Honestly, a mental health retreat in South America.
That sounds so nice, actually.
Sounds ideal. I could use one. Let's go.
Just go.
Alex, where you at?
well, maybe not. Well, maybe not.
Maybe we have different needs, actually. I need more of a yoga just to decompress
he might yell
a little.
at your crock pot.
Dude, I literally just brought home a crock pot the other day.
Really?
Yeah, this is great timing. I'm also very hungry, so I'm like, crock pot.
Thinking about
I want chili.
Ooh.
I know.
On a cold day.
Dude.
How nice.
It's the perfect day for chili. Or like soup.
Yeah.
Chicken noodle soup with matzo balls in it.
Where do you get that? Do you make that?
No, there's a place in LA called Granville. Granville?
I was like, I've heard of Granville, not Grainville.
Granville.
Okay.
Incredible.
Okay.
Incredible. But yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think it's just, it is.
This is it.
It is what it is.
OP did have one last final like little thing. Because people were like, is he gone? Is he fucking with you? Like what? Like they were kind of concerned still. And OP goes, he is definitely gone. My friend sent me some of his Insta stories of him at the airport and then about a day later in Bogota. So yep, he is gone. I am safe. And on Friday, I get to pick up Hello Maximus.
Oh, the kitty.
The first, LOL, Heli for short.
Cute.
Healy, maybe Healy for short.
Healy.
Helios Maximus.
Yeah.
Helios? I think it's probably Helios.
That sounds good.
What does that even mean? I don't know. There's some hits on it. There's an Airbnb called Helios Maximus.
Isn't there like wizard spells? Isn't that in? I don't know.
It's giving Harry Potter for you.
Good.
I mean,
Maximus or like
means,
Wizards of Waverly Place.
Also,
I don't know though. I could be making it up.
I wouldn't be surprised. Helios, I can't find what it means, but Maximus, greatest, largest. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Something grand.
Yeah. Some people are saying built on the small moon that orbits Helios Maximus. I don't know what's going on. Is it from Star Wars? It might be from Star Wars. I know someone's going to know.
I don't know. We're probably so off.
People are listening. They're like, you're so dumb.
I just don't know these things.
I don't either.
I just don't know.
I don't know. But there's December's first 3 bonus stories.
Wow.
Give it up for Jenna, y'all.
Oh, yay.
Woo!
I did my best.
Are you feeling better?
Yeah, I feel the first 2 stories didn't feel great.
It was rough there, y'all. I thought you did good.
Okay, are you just saying that to be nice? Okay.
No, I thought you did good. It's truly hard coming on.
The third story, I feel good. I feel there was some things to say about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you did good.
Okay.
Okay.
I believe you.
Thank you guys so much for being here on Patreon another month. We are going to have our full-length bonus episode doing some crazy holiday type vibes, crazy update vibes. So that is coming very soon. But other than that, thank you for being here. And 2025 is around the corner. Insane. We've got some really exciting things coming. And I appreciate all of you sticking around for it. So until next time, bye.
Bye.